jungle. When the lion's hungry, he eats.
The Gentleman is Guy Ritchie's return to the British gangster movies, and I'm really glad he's following on from this, because his best movie is Snatch, and his movies are always hit and miss for me. I haven't seen all of them, there is a few I have not seen, but they're either really bad, like Aladdin, or they're really good, like Snatch, and this movie is definitely his strength. This is definitely the sort of films that he likes to make, because they're always his best movies. When he makes something more corporate and for a studio like Aladdin, then it's nowhere near as good. When it's something like this, you can tell this is where his style lies, and his style is all over this movie, and it's really, really fun. I really like Snatch. I think that's a really good British gangster movie, and The Gentleman is definitely very similar to that, but it's different. I mean, it's the similar style, and I'm glad he's doing a movie with the same style. And let's talk about The Gentleman. I thought this movie was damn good. This is a really, really good Guy Ritchie movie. Yes, I really enjoyed this movie. Let's start off with the story, because there's always something interesting in the way he tells his story, and this one does a really interesting job. The story itself isn't anything new or unique, but the style of the way they tell it and the way he directs it is really, really fun and really, really entertaining, and also extremely fast-moving. This movie, there's hardly a second, in my opinion, that drags in this movie. Not 1 second was a little bit boring. Not 1 second was I not invested to see how this would play out. And that was really entertaining for me. The movie was so quick that when it finished, I was like, how is that nearly 2 hours long? It felt like 20 minutes. It was super fast-moving, super quick, and really, really fun to watch. The comedy in this movie is really, really good.
His name is Fahak. We're spelled with a PH, so it sounds like Fahak.
So it's Fahak. Yeah, something like that.
And it's a lot of the moments that should be really tense are played more for comedic value, and that was really fun. Let's talk about the performances here. Matthew McConaughey's is a really good performance in this movie, as long as some of the smaller roles, like Colin Farrell, who did a great job. And let's talk about Matthew McConaughey's character for a minute, because his character, in my opinion, is never given the development or he needs. We never really learn much about his character, because the majority of what his character is explained to us, so we sort of have to interpret ourselves who this character sort of is. But the main standouts here were easily Charlie Hunnam. He was excellent in this movie, brilliant in nearly every single scene he was in, and he's definitely the standout of this film. But I also loved Hugh Grant, who was excellent, extremely hilarious. I really, really loved him in this movie. He was so good, and it was a different sort of role for him, and I really, really enjoyed him in this movie. It's definitely edgy, this film. There's a lot of profanity, a lot of violence, a lot of very obscure British humour, which I really enjoy, and I like these British gangster movies, and I'm glad that he's making another one. This movie is very over the top, and that's also something very good about it. It's very exaggerated, because I don't want to spoil the main story for you, because I didn't know that, going into the movie, and I don't want to spoil how the story is shown or how the story is told to us, because that was the biggest part of the movie for me that I really liked the most, and that made the movie really, really unique, and I really wasn't expecting to be. It allowed for some really great humour and some great twists and turns that I thought added to the story. This movie was extremely fast-paced, really fun, had really entertaining performances, was really, really investing. My biggest issue with it, I would say, I didn't really care about the story itself. I didn't really care about the characters there. It wasn't memorable. I probably won't remember this in many, many times. I probably won't want to go back and rewatch this. But it was an entertaining experience. It was really, really fun to watch. And I'm glad Guy Ritchie is making movies like this again, because this is definitely the type of movies you can tell that he wants to make. And he did a really good job with this one, and I really, really liked it. I'm going to give The Gentleman a B+. I'm also going to give this movie around an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really like this style of films, And this movie had a lot of entertaining things, some really, really good dialogue, and I really enjoyed it. And comment down below your opinions on it if you have seen it. And of course, thanks for watching, and goodbye.